Hello, Projectly Nation. My name is Lisa, and I am here to provide you with a coaching tip. Today, I'm going to talk to you about active listening. This is Active Listening 101. So, what's the difference between listening and just hearing? It is the conscious effort on the part of the person that is hearing the information to take a second, take a step back, and to genuinely focus on what the person is saying. Otherwise, we're just hearing. So, as clients come into the store or we talk to clients on the phone, we want to make sure that we are always practicing our active listening skills. That is going to allow us to have the optimum relationship with our clients, for them to feel valued and to really feel heard. Communication is the number one most important piece of any and all relationships. So active listening is a huge piece of that. So I'm going to share with you, you guys are all going to have access to this handout, but I'm just going to run through it and provide some information. I'm going to give you some examples of active listening skills and kind of how you want to do that. You want to make sure that you are always working to build trust and build rapport. Rapport is that feeling where a client feels comfortable sharing with you, they feel comfortable coming to you, they're looking for you or anyone in the store that makes them feel good. You want to demonstrate concern for them, and the way you can do that, some of these phrases here: tell me what I can help, or tell me what you're here to do. I'm eager to help you. I know that you're going through a tough challenge, or you've gone through challenges in the past, and you're here because you're ready to make an active decision to change your life. Paraphrasing. Paraphrasing is a way of showing that you're actively listening. Paraphrasing is basically just summarizing what they said. A client can go through a 10-minute thing about how they work 4 jobs and they've got 7 kids and they volunteer here and they do blah, 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 1,000 things. And so basically you can paraphrase that by saying, it sounds like you're pulled in many directions. It sounds like you're extremely busy. You've got a lot on your plate. So just making sure that you're checking in. And that's that next piece of active listening, that check-in vocabulary, check-in acts. And that's when somebody's talking to you and you're listening, saying, uh-huh, yes, okay, I'm hearing you. So that when someone goes on for 10 minutes about everything that's going on in their life, or the challenges that they're facing, or the goals that they want, they know that you're not just a blank canvas, that you are taking in what they're saying. So that check-in vocabulary is super important. There's a couple types of questions that you can ask when you're active listening. And remember, when you're listening, your job is to listen, not to ask questions. Your job is to just let them go and share their information. But sometimes there's a pause, or sometimes you need a little bit more. And so asking open-ended questions and then being comfortable with those uncomfortable silences and allowing them to really come to their own conclusion and to share good information with you. So again, those open-ended questions that need more than a yes or a no, or a true or a false answer. Questions that are going to lead them to give you great information about their past history with food, or their past history with nutrition, or their past history with exercise. Also, clarifying questions. Don't assume that you know what they're talking about. If you have even the slightest question in your mind, paraphrase and ask a clarifying question. So I think you're saying that you've had an issue with dairy in the past. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? Is it all dairy? A question like that, just to clarify. The next one is waiting to disclose your opinion. You want to continue to pull from them, and before you make a suggestion. Ultimately, a client will be more committed to a program, and there's research out there in the therapeutic world about this, that when you can have a client come up with, or at least feel as though they've come up with their own issue, resolutions, and plan, they have more of a buy-in. It will be stronger. They will be more committed if they feel as though they've come up with the solution themselves. Yes, we are a solution-driven company. We are nutrition, structured-based, really driven people, but it's our job right there to take a step back and wait to disclose your opinion. Watch for their nonverbal communication. If somebody is saying, I'm great, but their body language is not matching up with that, then that's another place where you can ask a clarifying question. I hear that you're saying things are going great, but your body language is saying something different. Or you seem really down today. Your words are telling me that you're in a good place, but can we talk a little bit about that disalignment there, that mismatch? Disclosing similar situations. Sometimes it can be helpful to align with a client or to build rapport by sharing with them that you've experienced something similar in the past. Now, you might have a client that comes in and is a mom of 3, and you are a 25-year-old male who isn't in a relationship. So you have no ties there, no comparisons. So a way to still allow for that empathy and for allow to build that trust is just to say something along the lines of, we hear that from a lot of our clients. We serve and work well with a lot of moms who are having a similar struggle. So kind of level that playing field, make them feel as though what they're feeling is totally normal and is totally something that we can help support them in finding a solution to. So then the next part of this sheet that I have available for you is that signs of active listening. So these are things that you can do, or that when someone's talking to you, you can make sure that they're doing. I'm sure you're all doing them right now because I'm sure you're all making a point of active listening to me, right? So the first one is smiling, nodding, and that check-in vocabulary. So just making sure that you are present with the person and that you're pleasant with the person, that they're feeling good about their communication with you. Making eye contact, staying on topic. Your posture, you want to kind of lean in. I find myself, I have a background in counseling and life coaching and mental health. And so I find myself almost in all conversations when I'm really interested in active listening, leaning in. Coming out from behind the counter, sitting down with someone, posturing yourself so that you're there and you're open. You don't want to cross your arms. You want to lean in and be ready for them to share. Mirroring, showing empathy, mirroring their level of volume, their level of excitement. You don't want to suck all the air out of the room with your excitement. You want them to feel good and to bring them up a little bit. But if they come in here and you're here, that can be intimidating. So mirroring and being empathetic with what they're facing and what they're bringing to the conversation. Staying on focus. No distractions. I know it can be super difficult when we're sitting with a client to the door opens and oop, there goes our eyes, or your phone vibrates in your pocket, or you're suddenly your hair isn't really driving you nuts, and then you're looking at your nails and you're listening, but they're not going to feel like you're listening. I even can recommend if the door opening and closing and people in the store, at the shake bar or whatever else are taking your distraction away, position yourself so your back is to the rest of the room and you're totally focused, eye contact on that client. So eliminating distractions and making them feel like they are the most important and the only thing on your mind right then. Remaining judgmental. We are going to hear things across the board. We are going to hear things we may hear stories of abuse or addiction. We may hear stories of binge eating. We may hear stories of starvation. We may hear stories just about what people think is right because so many people are misinformed about nutrition. Remain judgmental. It is our opportunity to take what we're hearing and to provide education and help people grow from there without judging them. Every person walks into our store with a different background, a different level of knowledge with their health, but they're all coming in with the sole and same purpose of walking out better. So don't judge anybody. Everybody is equal when they walk into our store, and we are going to make them better than they were when they came in. Remember that you don't want to interrupt, you don't want to finish sentences for people, and you want to get comfortable with uncomfortable silence and pauses. When you're meeting with somebody and you ask them a question, it may take them 30 seconds. And 30 seconds is a long time when you're sitting with someone. But if you give them the time to come to their own conclusion, like I said earlier, the results are amazing. So learn to get uncomfortable and allow for those pauses. If somebody is sharing a lot of information and you are afraid you're not going to be able to paraphrase or remember it, take notes and let them know, hey, I'm just going to jot down a couple things. And you do not need to write down every single thing that they say, but maybe a couple notes. Nurse, overnights, lactose intolerance. Just a couple notes that are going to help you to paraphrase and are going to help you to really gain an understanding of who they are. Make sure you let them know that you're going to be taking notes though, because have you ever been sitting with someone and all of a sudden you say something and they're like, shh, you immediately panic. Oh my goodness, what are they writing down about me? What are they judging? What are they thinking of me? So just let them know that you're going to take a couple key notes, and even leaving the paper down on the table so they can see what you're writing might allow them to feel more comfortable and build rapport. The last couple things are really basic, but so important. Remember that questioning. Be specific or ask open-ended questions. So you're either looking for detailed specifics and you really can guide the question, some clarifying, or you're looking for open-ended questions. You want a ton of information. So really stick to those type of questions. Stay on focus, reflect back to them, paraphrase, reflect kind of where they are and demonstrate. Don't interrupt with your solutions along the way. Let me tell you, your advice is not as good as you think it is. Their advice is the only advice that they really need to follow. So although we're spewing with information and we've got a ton to share and our heart is in the right place, don't interrupt. Let them come to those conclusions and you sprinkle in the details where you can. And when it is finally time, when you've pulled everything you can from them and you've helped them even or prompted them to come up with some of their own solutions or plans or goals, that's when you say, would you like to hear my ideas? And that's when it's their turn to active listen to you. Hopefully you'll find this information helpful. Hopefully you'll be able to lean in, open up, and really actively listen to our clients going forward. It's going to benefit their relationship, your relationship with them, and us as a climate and culture of our building. I'll see you guys again soon. Take care.